Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angelisa, and on this channel we talk about, read, and discuss books together. And today I thought I would do a quick little 2024 TBR slash what my reading goals are for 2024. So I'm going to start off with the reading goals. We're just going to jump right into it. There's only a few of them, so do not fret. This will not take long. So first of all, this year so far to this day, it's end of December, not quite the last day, but it's the 27th or something. And I've read 91 books and I'm in the middle of one right now. So my goal for 2023 was 50 books and I've almost doubled that. So I thought I would up the ante for 2024 and go for 100 books. I think it's achievable, but it all depends on how busy my year is. But yeah, I'm hoping to read 100 books this year. And in those 100 books, I also want to read 2 classic books. I haven't read a single classic book this year, I don't think, and so I want to because I own a bunch and they're beautiful copies, so I definitely want to read them as well. I also want to read 5 nonfiction books. I've barely read any nonfiction books. I think I've only read maybe 2 this year, so I do want to read more of those, whether it be educational, self-help, or just a nonfiction story, an autobiography, or some sort of narrative that's based on a true story. I also want to annotate more. I just kind of started annotating a little bit this year, just some books that I've really had the urge to, so I really want to get my annotation style down packed. Right now I've kind of just been picking one color, highlighter and pen and sticky note and tab and whatever to match a vibe that goes with the cover of the book, and then I'll just do that. But I don't know if eventually I want to do color coding, I don't know, I want to up my annotation game this year, so that's a reading goal of mine. I also want to DNF more. I know that sounds a weird goal, I want to have more DNF books, but what I mean is that I feel if I'm DNFing more, it means that I'm not wasting time on books that I'm just not enjoying. Ideally, you don't have a lot of 2-star books, 1 to 2 star books that you've read. So I feel if I feel a book is going to be 1 to 2 stars, I'm just going to stop reading it and move on. So I do want to have more DNFs. I only really DNF'd 2 books this year, which I did have a really good reading year, but I just mean I don't know, I just don't want to waste time on books that aren't tickling my fancy, you know? With that, that'll help me bring my physical TBR down, which is another goal of mine. I have an absolutely embarrassing physical TBR. I've been putting off doing that video because I'm so embarrassed by how many books are on my shelf that I have not read. It's kind of terrible. So that's why I've been putting that off. But I do want to bring that number down. I do want to unhaul a bunch of books. So yeah, I want to bring my physical TBR down this year. And lastly, there's a bunch of series that I'm in the middle of that I want to finish. I'm in the middle of Throne and Glass, which part of that is I want to get through Crescent City. I'm in the middle Caraval. I'm in the middle of a mystery YA series. I'm in the middle of I don't know, I just feel I'm in the middle of Percy Jackson. I'm just in the middle of too many books series, so I want to finish those, even romance ones. Anyway, so those are the reading goals. Now I'm going to talk about the books that I want to read this year. So like I said, I have a huge physical TBR. So ideally I would read all the books that are on my shelf, but I don't think that's possible. I have probably 2 to 3 years worth of reading on my shelves. But I was okay, I need to narrow it down. And so I was looking at my shelves and I'm what are some books on my shelves I absolutely I want to read these this year. So I picked about 30. I'd be really happy if all of these kind of came off of my physical TBR this year. So yeah, some of them are starts to series, so that would also open up more books to be read, but I'm just gonna stop talking about them and just get into it. So we're gonna start off with romance books. The first one I'm going to loosely place in the romance section. It is romance, but you know, it's toxic. So Magnolia Parks, I put this on my TBR for a few months at the end of 2023 and I never ended up getting to it, so I've decided 2024 is gonna be the year where I get into the Magnolia Parks universe. I just feel I'm gonna love it. I'm excited. The covers are so pretty, and her 5th one is coming out soon, the 3rd one for Magnolia Parks, but 5th in the whole universe, I guess. I'm just very excited, so I definitely want to read this. This is a toxic romance. I literally do not have a synopsis. There's no synopsis on this book, so I can't really really tell you what it's about, but I'm sure you've heard about it. Everybody's been talking about it. So first one's Magnolia Parks. I don't know why these feel just like very similar like ideas to me, but next one is part of the Addicted / Calloway sister series, Ricochet. So I don't want to hold like the entire stack, but I have read the first book in the series. This is the second one, and I want to read the series this year. So I want to finish the series. I've heard it's really, really good, and I really did enjoy the first book, so I really think that I would enjoy the like whole series. All of these copies that I have exclusive bonus material as well, so I'm really glad that I waited to read them, because now I get to read like the bonus material with it, and it's not like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Definitely look up trigger warnings on this series as well if you want to get into it. But yeah, it's like a best friends to lovers. These two are very toxic, and like they're both like addicts, so they kind of feed each other's addictions a little bit, and they're trying to like help each other, but then they like fall in love. But in this book, I think that like 2 other people get together and you get like little crumbs of them. So yeah, I've just heard the series like all together is really, really good, so I'm excited for this. Next, I want to finish the Twisted series. So I've read the first 2 books and I loved them so much, so I really want to finish book 3 and 4. I don't really know what they're about actually. I know that one of them is like the main characters are like the best friend and brother of a main character in the first one, and then the last ones, it's another one of like the best friends, like the girls group, and I don't remember who the other guy is. Like I think he's just like, he's one of the friends. I don't know, he's someone's friend or related to someone somehow. But yeah, I really like these. They're like the perfect introduction to like, I wouldn't say dark romance, but just like a little bit more like spicy, like tough romance, I'll say, where not everything is like peachy and shiny. So yeah, really, really love the first 2, so I'm excited to continue them. These are definitely like look up trigger warnings. They are 18 plus for sure. And another Anna Huang I want to start is the King of what's it called? What are they called? What's the series called? It's like King of Sins? Yeah, the Kings of Sin series. So they're like interconnected standalones, and each book is like named after a different sin. So this one is Wrath, there's King of Sloth, King of Pride, like all of the 7 sins. So I've heard such good things about this, and it's her new series, and I got the UK version. I don't know why, I just like liked how it looked, and it's a lot cheaper in the UK. So yeah, I'm excited about this series as well. Next up, I want to start the Knockemout series. So I've had these on my shelves. I literally have all 3. I've had them on my shelves like all year, and I haven't started them, so I really want to start them this year. I want to like understand what it is about Naomi and Knox that everybody's obsessed about. Oh my god, there's still a sticker on here with the price tag. Ew. Get off of my book right now. How dare I leave you on. No! That's like the worst sound to hear when you're peeling a sticker off of a book. When it like stays on there, it's terrible. Oh my god. Oh, I need to deal with this later. I'm gonna have to like go at it with some nail polish remover or something. That's a hack, guys. If you ever have like stickers that have like, when you try to peel it off, like it left behind pieces, if you just take like a cotton ball and some like acetone or like nail polish remover or something, it literally like, it won't damage your book cover at all because it's alcohol and it's like technically dry, but it just like dissolves the sticker and the sticker comes off with it. Anyway, so yeah, I do want to start this. I've heard amazing things about it. Actually, I've heard mixed reviews about it. Some people love it and some people hate it. Some people think that Knox is really, really freaking just like mean and rude, but also like I kind of enjoy that sometimes. So yeah, I'm excited to read this as well for romance. Another freaking romance or like standalone series I want to start is the Chestnut Spring series. I literally have all 5 books. I don't know what happened. I ordered the UK versions. I love the covers. They're so freaking cute, and I've heard amazing things about this, and I really want to get into like cowboy and like small town romances. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is like a rodeo, like bull rider romance, and I think it's like his coach's daughter or something like that. So yeah. Another romance that everybody's been talking about is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So I read The Dead Romantics, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was so much fun, and the writing was super cool, and I picked this up, and now everybody's been like obsessed with it, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to read it. So I want to, like, when I was looking at like romance books on my shelf that I want to get through for sure that like are really piquing my interest for this year, it's definitely this is one of them. From what I understand, it's basically about this like apartment that like can travel 7 years back and forward in time or something. So I don't really know how that works, but it kind of like the synopsis reminded me a little bit about like Before the Coffee Gets Cold, where like you sit in this chair in this cafe and you can travel like through time and like talk to people who are also in that cafe at that time. So yeah, I thought it was really, really cool, and I just love the way that she writes like paranormally science fiction romance. Like, it's so cool. The last one on this list for romances is actually Betting on You by Lynn Painter. So I say last one very loosely. Like, there are so many books on my shelf that I'm like, I want to read these, but Betting on You is definitely up there, that like I definitely want to read it for this year. It's her new release. I do think it's a YA. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it is. Yeah, it's teen. Yeah, it's a YA, and oh, I think these two characters are like in Better Than the Movies. So I think the other characters have like a cameo or something. Like they're related somehow. But yeah, I love how these match the covers. I'm just gonna take them out because like I need to. Like, I am absolutely obsessed with this. Like, this is so freaking cute to me, and the way that they all just like, sorry, the light is like really bright, but the way that they all just like, they're so freaking cute. So anyway, yeah, I want to read the Betting on You. I actually don't really know what it's about. I know it's like another high school YA, and honestly that's all that I needed to know to be absolutely obsessed, because Lynn Painter's writing is just so freaking cute. And I don't know if any of you like follow her on Instagram, but she's so funny. So yeah. Ugh, I'm so excited. Okay, that's romances. We're just gonna move those over. Next, I'm going to go, I guess, like, to keep it in the romancy era, I'm going to talk about like fantasy romances. So the first one up is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So I did want to get to this by the end of 2023, but I highly doubt that I'm going to, so I really do want to read it for 2024. My understanding is that it's about like these ordinaries and then these people who have powers, and the guy who like kills ordinaries is the love interest in this, and she is an ordinary. So very like Hunger Games-ish. Yeah, there's like a Hunger Games element to it, but also like, I guess like kind of like Shatter Me, like, I don't know. I thought it sounded really cool, and TikTok has been blowing this up because the girl who wrote it like while like TikToking her experience writing, and that's just super cool to me that like someone in our generation, our age, did something like that and got a whole book published. Holy crap, the font is very kind of small. Nonetheless, super excited for this. Next is Once Upon a Broken Heart and the entire like trilogy. So I thought I was gonna read this by the end of 2023. Didn't end up happening. I'm still in the middle of the Caravel series, but on my goal for 2024 is definitely to catch up with the rest of the world, because I've been living under a rock, and read this whole like trilogy after Caravel. I've heard amazing things about it. My best friend Rowan is obsessed with this series, so I feel like it would only be fair if I like read it and gave it a chance. Oh my gosh, the font in this is huge. I kind of love it. It's absolutely freaking ginormous. Like, I don't know if when I show it on the camera you can tell, but it's like, it's huge. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't get the exclusive versions of these. One, I didn't like having this all over. I really liked the black and how it looked with like the foiled pink parts here, and like that was pretty for me, but now I kind of regret it because I've heard the bonus content is really cute. So anyway, Once Upon a Broken Heart. Next, okay, this is gonna be the year that I read Harry Potter. This has to be the year. I'm actually hoping to read it all in like January and February, because I'm continuing the Harry Potter marathon with my girl cousins, and so I want to finish this very badly, and the whole series. The movies are so much fun. I know, I don't know if I'm like committing a crime by watching the movies first, but I feel like watching them kind of helps me like visualize things in here. So yeah, I'm actually hoping to pick this up like next week and start it, because I've just been really enjoying the movies. They're so much fun. So yeah, Harry Potter, hopefully it'll be my first time reading it. Next we have Circe by Madeline Miller. So I read the Song of Achilles in 2023, loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I was like, I want to read Circe. This has more of an emphasis on a woman and like her story rather than it being like a romance book. And again, my best friend loved it. She read Circe. It was one of like the first books that she read that got her back into reading last year, and she loved it. So I have a feeling that I will, because we have different reading tastes, but there's an overlap, and this genre is usually where the overlap is, like Greek mythology, like fantasy retelling, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very excited for this and to just read like an empowering female woman read. I've been loving these kinds of reads, so yeah. Next, I really want to finish the Shatter Me series. So I am missing a book here. I realize that I need to get the last novella, Believe Me, I think is what it's called, but I have the like second half of the series here. I read the first half in a reading vlog a few months ago, and I haven't gotten to the second half yet, so I do want to do that very, very soon. So these are definitely on my like need to read before 2024, honestly, like in the first half hopefully, and also like just to get the series finished this year. Shatter Me is definitely on that list, so I'm really, really excited. One thing that I'm like hating right now though is that these places put freaking, like, you can't remove this. Like, it's so stupid to me. I don't enjoy that at all. Anyway, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna move on. Next I have, this isn't really a fantasy, I'd say like it's science fiction, but Red Rising. So I picked this up after, this is totally upside down. Is it? Yeah. I picked it up after I saw Ashlyn and Ian. They're like this couple on Bookstagram or Booktube, and they each have their own channels, and they had done like a swap video a few months ago, and then I saw and how they hyped up this book. I was like, oh my god, I need to go get it. So I got it, and then it got so hyped up on TikTok and everything because like Haley Pham got into it and whatever, and then I kind of just got like deterred because there was like so many opinions and like people saying how hard it is to understand and like keep up, so I just like didn't really pick it up. But I'm hoping that this year is the year that I like get into more like science fiction, dystopian fantasy. I don't know if that makes sense, this being one of them. But yeah, I don't know if there's any romance in this. I don't think so. Well, there is. It says like lost love. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, moving on. I need to finish the Throne of Glass series. Oh my god, these are so heavy. So I have the last 4 books here. I haven't, like, technically I should have the last 5, but it's on my TBR right now, and I'm probably going to read it this week. So, but in 2024, I do want to finish this whole series, and I also want to start Crescent City. I'm not gonna hold these up. I'm just gonna maybe like this. I've been wanting to read these for a while, but I was told that like I should wait before I read this and finish these. And I'm really, really glad that I read ACOTAR first because I thought it was a great introduction to the world, and now I'm rereading it, and like things that I picked up in Throne of Glass so far, I'm like remembering in ACOTAR now, and it's very, very interesting. So I'm excited. I'm so excited actually, but I'm kind of sad because once it's over, I'm gonna be so sad. I hope she writes more and more and more and just keeps writing until I die. But yeah, so this is also a series that I want to get off my list, and B, like a universe that I'm just like interested in reading over and over again. Moving on, I have some mystery books that I want to read. So first of all, we have the Truly Devious trilogy, or I guess series now, because there's more books coming out, by Maureen Johnson. This I think is kind of like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder kind of vibe. It's like a high school murder mystery basically. So yeah, sounds super interesting. Want to get into it. I had it on my 2023 TBR, never touched it. So hopefully this year is the year that I actually pick it up and get through it. Next, I've got The Housemaid's Secret. This is the second book in the Housemaid, like what is I think now a series, because there's a third book coming out, and this is by Frida McFadden. I read The Housemaid last year, or this year, 2023. We're still in 2023, girl, when you're filming this, chill. And I loved it, so I'm excited to read this one and get another one like off of my list. I have so many mystery books just lying around that I want to read and just haven't been in the mood for the longest time now. I don't know why, like fantasy has been overtaking my life. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about this book. Next, I have another like sequel, The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. So I read The Housemaid in 2023? No, I might have read it in 2022. I don't even remember. I read it and I really, really liked it. It was a really cute, like cozy hotel mystery, and the main character, it's kind of like implied that she has I think autism. Just reading in her point of view is so interesting because how she perceives conversations is very different from how like other people in the situation perceive it. So she's easily kind of like manipulated, which sucks, and there's kind of like a moral principle in the book about that. But we get to follow her in this one again, Molly the maid, so I'm very, very excited about that. And the cover is just so pretty, and it's also signed by the author, which I did not know until I got it in the mail. So moving on, we have a Lisa Jewell book. This is None of This Is True. It's her new one that came out recently. I've heard amazing things about it. My boss read it and was like, you need to read it, and I just haven't picked it up yet. So I really do want to read this in 2024. I'm hoping in the first half. Basically, I think it's like a podcast kind of situation, and this girl that she's like interviewing is very strange and has like a lot of secrets. So I like the podcast element to it, and I don't know, I've just heard really, really good things, and I love Lisa Jewell's writing, so I thought it would be good. Next I have One of Us Is Back by Karen McManus. So this is the third book in the like One of Us Is Lying series. This is, I think, the last book that I have to read for this, and I've just been kind of putting it off, but I do really like Karen McManus's writing. Like, I think her stories are very interesting, they're quick, they're fun, and I did enjoy the first two books, as well as I read, was it Nothing More to Tell? Yeah, and that one was really, really good too. So I'm excited to read this one this year, hopefully, and I just want to, like, another series that I want to get off of my list and be done with. So yeah, One of Us Is Back by Karen McManus. I definitely would recommend reading One of Us Is Lying if you haven't yet. It's so much fun, and it's just like, again, that same vibe as like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, still a little bit different. It's kind of like Breakfast Club meets Good Girl's Guide to Murder a little bit. Okay, next, it's just basically like an author in general. I want to read Stephen King. Like, I have not read a single Stephen King book, and now I have 3, so I really just want to pick up a Stephen King book this year and have that as like a goal, A, and B, something to get off my physical TBR. I've heard amazing things about his books. I think he has a very interesting writing style from what I've seen, and I just want to read them. Like, he's literally like a classic, so definitely want to read one of his books at least. If I could read all 3 and get all 3 off my list, that would be so cool. But yeah, that's it for mysteries. The last book that I have is actually something that I've had on my shelf for a while, but for some reason I wanted to do it. There's something about my brain that like I cannot start this in the middle of the year. It has to be like for a full year. So I want to start the pivot year for 2024. It's 365 days, so I don't know how that works with like a leap year, because I'm pretty sure that's what we have this year. I might just finish it early, like December 30th or whatever, but either way, I just really want to read this one day every single day. I mean, one page every single day, and get like really reflect on it. And if I can, I might like journal about it each day and kind of like reflect more on it. So yeah, that's one that's like a nonfiction / like self-help that I really want to get done. There's a few others that I have, but this was one that I was like, I think this is the year that I want to kind of have the pivot year, and I could start it like whenever, really. Like, you don't have to start it on January 1st, but since January 1st is coming up, I think it'd be really pleasing to my brain if I did it for the full like calendar year. Anyway guys, that is all the books that I want to read this year. That is all my reading goals. As I said, there's obviously a bunch more that I want to read that are on my shelves, but I definitely wanted to pick like 30 to show you guys that if I could get these ones read, I would be so freaking happy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below what you're planning to read for 2024. What books are you excited for? What books are you just basically like, I need to get these done, I need to read these, I like these authors, I like these books, and I want to read these in 2024. So yeah, anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.